Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth from Echo, and today we are partnering with the farm families who own Cabot Creamery Cooperative to bring you this episode of Science and Stories, Kitchen Chemistry, starring dairy. Sing with me. Hello to everyone, and how are you today? We've come to our science time to laugh and sing and play. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up nor down. So roll your hands as slow as they'll go. And roll your hands so fast and give your hands a clap, clap, clap. And lay them in your lap, lap, lap. You guys ready to investigate the science bag with me? Let's see what we have inside today. Are you ready, scientists? We're going to use all of our senses to see what we can find out. We'll use our eyes to see, our ears to hear, we'll use our nose to smell, and our mouth to taste, and then we'll use our fingers to touch. And then we'll learn so much. Are you ready, scientists? Let's try it. We can learn so much just by using our eyes. Watch, look, observe closely. Can you see how big the thing in the science bag is today? Not very big. Just by using your eyes, you can see how big it is. You can see the shape that it is today. Also, use your ears. Do you hear that? I'll tell you what it feels like. When I feel it, it feels crinkly up here. And then down here, it feels harder. But if I push on it, it feels like it might crumble. So it's a little bit fragile. Oh, I'm going to use my nose because I'm picking up a smell. It smells sort of like cinnamon. It smells like something is baking in the oven. Maybe today we'll get to use our mouth to taste too, because my mouth is starting to water from the good smell that's coming from the science bag today. What do you think is in here? Do you have some ideas? Do you have a prediction of what I'm going to pull out of the bag today? Tell me your best prediction. Go ahead. All right, let's see what we've got. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it looks like a pretty package. This is a package I'd like to receive. What's inside? Let's open it up. Open this pretty package up. This is what was crinkly. Got a pretty ribbon on it. Oh, it smells so good. Should I taste it and tell you what it tastes like? It tastes like honey and sugar. It tastes sweet too. Those are yummy cookies. Seeing them all in that pretty package makes me think that maybe I'd like to make some cookies to give as presents and wrap them up in pretty packages. If I want to make cookies, what do I need? Do you know? Have you made cookies before in the kitchen? Mixed things together to make something new? Oh, that's chemistry. Did you know that? When you take things and mix them together and then it makes something completely different? That's kitchen chemistry. Have you done kitchen chemistry before? What do we need to make some cookies? Let's do some research and see what we can find out about what we need to make some cookies. The story today is called A Cow, a Bee, a Cookie, and Me by Meredith Hooper, illustrated by Alison Bartlett. I see a little boy with a plate of cookies, so maybe we'll find out how we can make some cookies or what we need to make cookies. In the background, there's a cow, there's a chicken, and there's some bees. I wonder if they have anything to do with what we need to make cookies. Let's find out. It starts like this. Ben was cooking with his grandma. "What should we make?" asked Ben. "Honey cookies," said Grandma. "What do we need?" asked Ben. "We need," said Grandma. A cow. A cow in a field eating green grass. Munch, dribble, munch all day long. A cow, said Ben, and grass for honey cookies? Oh, yes, said Grandma. The cow turns the grass into creamy milk. The milk is shaken up and down until it turns into smooth yellow butter. And a half a cup of smooth yellow butter is exactly what we need. And now we need sugarcane, growing thick and tall in the warm, moist earth until it's way, way, way above your head and as thick as your wrist. Then it's crushed and cleaned and boiled until it turns into shiny little grains of white sugar. And 2/3 of a cup of shiny white sugar, said Grandma, is exactly what we need. Mix the butter and sugar together in a bowl until they are smooth, said Grandma. The butter should not be too hard. It should be nice and soft. What do we need now? Asked Ben. "A 1,000 buzzing bees," said Grandma, working all day, sucking sweet nectar from flowers, then flying back to their hives and packing the nectar into little waxy cells where it turns into runny honey. And 2 tablespoons of runny honey, said Grandma, is exactly what we need. And now we need a clucky hen scratching around all day, pecking up seeds and worms and tiny bugs. She eats 2 handfuls of wheat, some scraps from the kitchen, and a spoonful of special food. Then every morning she lays an egg. But we don't need all the egg, said Grandma. We just need the yellow part, the yolk. Put the runny honey into the bowl with the butter and sugar and beat it in, said Grandma. Now, here comes the tricky part, separating the egg yolk from the clear part, the white. It's not easy. You just have to learn by doing it. Put the egg yolk into the mixture, said Grandma, and beat it in. Now what do we need? Asked Ben. Some dried bark, said Grandma, from a faraway tree. Bark? Said Ben. I don't want to eat bark. It's called cinnamon, and cinnamon is a spice, said Grandma. Honey and spice make something nice. Wait and see. The bark is ground up into brown powder. And that's exactly what we need, said Grandma. A level teaspoon of brown, powdery cinnamon. And now we need a field of golden wheat with stalks full of seeds ripening in the sun. The seeds are ground up to make soft white flour. And 1 3/4 cups of soft white flour, said Grandma, is exactly what we need. Put the cinnamon into the mixture, said Grandma. Then add the flour, little by little, but don't beat it too much. Now we've made a soft dough. Here comes the good part. Ready? Take a small piece of dough, roll it quickly in your hands, and make a little ball. Roll the ball in some shiny white sugar and cinnamon, then put it on the cookie sheet. You have to give each little ball a bit of space, said Grandma. Why? Asked Ben. Wait and see, said Grandma. Remember, the oven shouldn't be too hot or too cool. It has to be just right to bake honey cookies. Grandma pulled on the oven mitts and put the sheet of little balls in the oven. Soon a wonderful, spicy smell filled the kitchen. Let's take a peek, said Grandma. We need to see how our honey cookies are doing. The balls of dough had disappeared. They had turned into round, flat, golden brown cookies. Grandma put on her oven mitts and took the hot cookie sheet out of the oven. Let the cookies cool just for a minute or two, said Grandma. My honey cookies, said Ben, have needed a cow, 1,000 bees, and a hen, a field of sugar cane, a field of wheat, a part of a tree, and we've needed the help of fresh green grass and bright colored flowers, said Grandma. And we've needed the good earth, the warm sun, and the rain. But Ben could not say anything. His mouth was too full of warm, yummy honey cookie. The end. Wow, did you know that you were going to need a cow and chickens and 1,000 bees and bark from a tree and other things just to make cookies? I sure am thankful for those things and for the farmers that bring them to us so that we can mix them together to make cookies. So if we mix the butter and the sugar together, and then we add some flour and some honey and some cinnamon and an egg. Do you remember what part of the egg we have to add? The yellow jiggly part. We have to separate it from the white part. That's hard to do. But remember, you can do hard things. And it takes practice. You might not get it right the first time. That's okay. You'll get it. Mix them all together, and it makes something new. It makes cookie dough. Squishy cookie dough. This is different from the ingredients that went together to make this dough. And if I asked you to stick in a spoon and pull out the honey, could you do it? No, the honey has changed. If I asked you to pull out the egg yolk, could you pull the egg yolk out of the dough? No, the yolk has combined with all the other ingredients to make something completely new. That's science at work. That's chemistry. And you're doing science work when you make that happen. And it smells so delicious. But it's not ready to eat yet. Do you remember what Grandma and Ben did next? They pulled off a little piece of dough and then rolled it around in their hand. Rolled that around in some sugar and cinnamon and put it on the cookie sheet. And once they had the cookie sheet full of little balls, what happens next? It goes in the oven. Not too hot, not too cold. And it changes again into something new, into a yummy cookie that you can eat. So mixing all the ingredients together changes it into something new. And then the heat in the oven changes it again into something new. Lots of chemistry going on in the kitchen. Do you remember which of these ingredients is made from milk that comes from a cow? Was it the honey? No, that came from the bees. Was it the cinnamon? That came from the bark, from a tree. Was it the butter? Yeah, it was the butter. You can actually make butter at home by pouring cream from milk that comes from a cow into a jar and then shaking it. You have to shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it a lot. You have to be persistent, stick with it. But eventually it makes butter. It turns into something different. So the butter comes from a cow. It's made from milk that comes from a cow. I'm going to put it over here under my cow friend. How about the cinnamon? Did that come from milk from the cow? No, we'll keep that over here on this tray. How about honey? Is that made from milk that comes from a cow? Nope, that was from the bees. The egg was from the chicken. I have some other things in my basket. I was wondering if you could help me sort them into things that are made from milk that comes from a cow and things that are not. Are you ready? All right, let's see. How about cheese? Is cheese made from milk that comes from a cow? It is. So you get butter and cheese from milk. How about sugar? Is that made from milk that comes from a cow? We learned that that comes from the field of sugarcane that grows as thick as your wrist. So we'll put that over here with our other ingredients that does not come from the cow. How about cream cheese? What do you think? Made from milk that comes from a cow or not? Yeah, it does. It comes made from milk that comes from a cow. Sour cream? Do you like sour cream? Made from milk that comes from a cow. Put that over there too. This is flour. Is flour made from milk? No, that was from the wheat that grew in the field. We'll put that over here with our cinnamon and honey and sugar and egg. Not from a cow. Cottage cheese? Where should that go? Here with the flour and the cinnamon and the egg? Or over here with the cow? Yep. Cottage cheese is made from milk that comes from a cow. Last one. Whipping cream. This is the stuff that you can put in the jar and shake it and make butter out of it. It's made from milk that comes from a cow. Wow, we get lots of things from milk that comes from the cow. I bet that you could find something that you could make in the kitchen by mixing some of those ingredients together to make something new. Kitchen chemistry can be really yummy. Give it a try. I'll see you next time, friends.